Welcome to Sacred Conversations with Mandula. Grab your tea, grab your snacks, continue doing whatever you are doing, and just listen to this in the background, but really insist to understand what I am about to say. A lot of my work has shifted from yoga teacher to massage to channeling work, and the holistic healing entails shamanic work at the end of the day. So these divine messages are conversations that I'm constantly channeling through questions, through inspiration, being inspired, being in spirit, and making sure that my daily life consistently speaks to that. So I am going to help you bridge the gap between the head and the heart space, which is the longest journey ever known in this physical experience as human being. So this might pertain to you if you've reached this message. And the song I heard, going to sing it, pertains to this message today. And it's a song that goes, stop in the name of love before you break my heart. Stop in the name of love before you break my heart. And then what I was getting there is about being in the present moment, and how often we are being told, be present, be present. I'm going to paraphrase this one saying that it says, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is the present. And when we think about the present, when you think about what a present is, we present something to someone. We are gifting them as an act of love. So this moment here that we have is an act of love that I had to shift things so that I can share things. It's an act of love. That's why when we come into sacred conversation, we want to start learning to be more intentional about who we are in communion with, what we are in communion about, so that this has a purpose, that we start living with purpose, because this gift, this present moment here, is a gift. When you look at yesterday is history. History already tells you it is his story, her story, right? That is what has governed the past. This is what has worked in the past. But then here we find ourselves moving from the past in the present moment in fear of future. So tomorrow is a mystery. I'm sure there are a lot of you listening to this in this moment who have changed positions, who have changed careers, who have changed your mind. You were a dancer once, you became a singer. You were this, you became that. You get the gist, right? And we've allowed for that change. But what happens is when you resist the change and you expect something to be what it is always going to be, that's when you feel stuck. That's when you get into this fight or flight mode. You almost feel like you are paralyzed. We call it the freeze and fight, flight, freeze. So you could be in this like freeze mode where you do not know what to do. Now, I'll share this example. I in varsity studied civil engineering, and at the time it was like, yeah, young woman, black female in the space, wanting to dominate, wanting to feel empowered. And in my mind, I was going to own my own company one day. In my mind, according to my dad, a part of his success that he was instilling too is that it's so cute. It's someone carrying my briefcase. So in that vision, I added his vision on top of mine of, okay, I'm going to become like CEO of my company. I'm going to be like this boss babe. People are going to be like carrying my my briefcase for me. I don't even want someone to carry my briefcase, but something in me was driven to do that because it was part of my dad's dream, his story, right? And circling back, I am now a shaman, a medicine woman, a healer who has branched, like I said in the beginning, from civil engineering to yoga to massage to channeling work to writing work to I'm a poet as well. There's so much diversity with what my capabilities and skills have that now if I expect it to run a certain way and I hold myself so tight to this is the only way in which it's supposed to be, then I hold the magic and the gift of this present moment. So what was happening was I found myself in agitation because I was trying to perceive the mystery of tomorrow, of which I don't even know. And I shared that story about me moving from civil to shamanic work, right? I didn't even know that even was even a consideration for me, not even an inkling of a possibility. Nothing could have told me that, yes, one day this is where it's going to be. And then I had done something to secure a certain part of my future, right? And I was guided to do so. And in doing so, I had still found myself in agitation. So there's many parts to it, but I'll talk about two from there. There's that part of moving yourself in the prayer. So when you pray for things, you are living in part of your prayer. Right now, you are living in part of your prayer. Part of that too is observing as you are living now, because you have renewed your mind, you have transformed yourself to become that person and to act as if you are in that vibration of your prayer and answer received, that history is now still being projected. So you find yourself perhaps in this push and pull. This like, I know all this is all I have, but there's that aspect. And then I got guided, go into your body, go do your yoga practice. Now in my apartment, my yoga mat is just out for me to, whenever I need to, just go into my body so I can listen to the wisdom of my body versus be attached to my mind, which is picking up so much signal, right? It's picking up so much signal around me. But now I have to tune into the frequency within me. So it's like trying to tune yourself to different radio stations, because that's what you're hearing. It's like when you are, people who live in Cape Town will understand this. when it is summertime or when the sun is out, people are out. That means there is more traffic, more cars on the road, more music pumping, more loudness, more everything. Because there's more joy. It's like, oh, we can get to go and celebrate this nature and enjoy it. In that space, you'll hear people pumping hip hop. You'll hear people screaming. You'll hear people, like, some people have drunk, they've come from the beach, and it's just good times, right? So you are picking up, if you were walking on that street and those cars were stopping and you're just walking by on the promenade, you are picking up so much of that signal around you that unless you understand that you have to align to the frequency from within you, you are going to think that that which is outside of you is you. And I'll elaborate. As I was guided into my body, I started doing some practice. I was like, show me where to go. That is my general prayer for my yoga practice. Show me where to go, Spirit. There's so many times I want to do something, and it's just like, just show me where to go. I surrender. And clear as day, you cannot be present without being present in your body. You cannot be present without guiding your mind into your heart. And we can move into the conversation of flow, but you have to guide flow. You have to prepare yourself to be in the state of flow. So we'll go back to the prayer where it says, when you pray for something, there's this typical one when people say, when you ask God for patience, God will give you a long line to wait at the bank. So what happens here is we move from the state of human being to perceiving the doing. So the two are in relationship. Our natural state is human being. Okay. When you are in the state of being, you are in the state of flow. Right? Are you still with me? When you are in the state of being, you are in the state of flow. When you are in the state of flow, you are aligned head to heart, which is in your body. That is the only way, like I said before, in which you can be present. So you can say all the affirmations you want. You can say all the gratitude you want. But if you're not connecting the flow of head to heart in body, you have missed the feeling of the power of the present. You have missed the feeling of the power of this gift. So you ask God for patience. You get a line at the bank. Anything you ask for has a character build. Anything you ask for represents a certain characteristic. Okay? What you are looking for when you are asking of things, when you're saying, I want this, or I would like that, or I see myself as that. What you are doing, okay, let's say you want to be a singer. Okay? You want to be a singer. What you are doing is you are asking God to be a singer. Now you got to be clear. What type of singer do you want to be? Because you could just be a singer and you could be given an opportunity to sing in an old age home. And that's the singing. And then here you go, God, no, I'm so not happy. Like, what is going on? That's an opportunity for you now to be clearer, right? Why you want to be a singer could be for various reasons. I'll say the obvious: to be seen, to be heard, and to be acknowledged, which is to be validated. Anything you do will always center around these three energies. To be seen. To be seen. Do you see my existence? Do you hear my existence? Is my existence true in this world? Right? So when we come into those three energies, seen, heard, and felt, we get them through these singer, banker, someone who owns a yacht, someone who has a lot of partners, someone who is married, someone who owns this. You get the gist, right? Those things represent a certain characteristic of a feeling that will make you feel seen, make you feel heard, and make you feel validated, right? Up until you see yourself, up until you hear yourself, up until you validate and acknowledge and accept yourself, you will be seeking for those things outside of yourself. When you come into relationships, which are important, they help you character build towards that which you want. Now, to become a singer, the way in which you want to, let's say you want to become like a Beyonce, there are certain characteristics and disciplines she has in order to attain that level of success and achievement, right? So when we look to someone like a Beyonce or an Alicia Keys, you are feeling her level of inspiration. Because why? You are spirit living a human experience. So what you see from her is what you feel from her. She is living in flow and inspiration. To be inspired is to live in spirit, which is the most important thing on the deepest human level that we crave, is connection for this physical body to completely be in union with our spirit and our soul. So we go back. Being in spirit, being aligned, being tuned into your radio frequency, you have to have presence of head to heart in body. So now, like I said before, you can say all the affirmations you want, you can say all the gratitude you want, but if you do not feel it in your body, you bypass the purpose of what the body is here for. So, your tools need to allow you to gravitate towards connection to the body. So anything that allows you to move, whether it means fast movement so that you can get the head right here into the body, or it's slow movements where you can get your head right here into your body. So I know there's so many topics in this talk, but that song, "Stop in the Name of Love," it's like stop in the name of love, which is God. If you ultimately think love is good, good is God, God is love. Okay, when you stop in that name, you stop in divine presence, you stop in acknowledgement and deep reverence to what is. Then you realize where your lack is from your herstory or history, projecting into the mystery that you can never, you can predict and you can hold certain things to be true, but a lot of the time, up until you get into that level of being able to manifest in that way where you can see those signs clearly, we are at the level where you need to understand you just need to be in your body first. People who are able to manifest those things have understood how to be in their body, and the body drawing towards feeling, towards subconscious mind. Right? So you are living in your answered prayer, number one, and you are preparing yourself for that answer or that thing which you want to receive by building up your character to become that person who is able to attain that thing which you have asked for. I'll use one last example here. I think it all depends on where spirit guides the messages. You have had a long day at work, or you are having a long day, or you're not necessarily having the greatest morning, and you wake up and you are craving that home meal, whether it's a pot pie, whether it's a stew, whether it's a pasta, but you're craving it. Now, there is a process in order to get to that pasta by the end of the day for dinner. Okay, so what needs to happen? You got to first shower. You first need to go to work. You need to get through your day. Then you have to realize, do I have all the ingredients that are necessary for that type of pasta that I want? Right? Then you go and prepare. You list the things that you need. You already know the things that you need. Because everything that you request from God or the universe in manifestation first has to have preparation of understanding what is it that is required in order for me to be this version. Because that feeling of craving that food is a certain version of you that you want to attain. It's a version that perhaps that pasta has reminded you of home, or it's reminded you of going into Italy and you've enjoyed the pasta and the way, or maybe you've watched Eat, Pray, Love, and you see her learning the Italian and she's in the bath, and so on, so on. So it holds a certain feeling and memory in your being that holds true to you, that allows you to be inspired and stay in spirit, to stay in, once again, the state of flow. So then you go to work. Then you got to go get the extra ingredients if you don't have them at home. Then you come home, and that feeling of connection where maybe you start romanticizing this whole experience, because it makes you what? Feel good. When you're feeling good, you are feeling God. When you're feeling God, you are feeling love. Stop in the name of love before you break my heart, right? So stop in the name, stop in the presence, because ultimately why you want that thing is for connection. And the connection is through feeling seen, feeling heard, and feeling acknowledged. And then the last note that I had written here is, we cannot see our blessings when you try to figure out the mystery of tomorrow, trying to base it off yesterday's history. This keeps us locked in limbo, because divine presence is no human thought or attachment to the stories. When you are in flow and you're in the highest frequency of your truest divine being, you are picking up as a clear channel your own frequency. So I'll go back to the promenade story that I said earlier, that when you're hearing the taxis and you're hearing people having a good time and some people are drunk, and then there's hip hop playing, and then there's Afro beats playing in another car, and then there's just so much going on, you are in divine presence and you're not being attached to the stories, whether those stories allow you to complain or have certain preferences. It cancels that. It unattaches you from that cord. So being present, you first have to be in your body. You cannot escape presence by taking a drug or taking something that makes you feel good without embodying it. We have escaped the body, and we need to go back and embody this energy of connection. That first starts off with being intentional about what is it that you want. What is the version of me that is there that I'm not feeling here? What is the character building that I am going to go through in order to be able to receive that which I want? And you'll probably find that by the time you get to that place, Jim Carrey always talks about this in his talks, where he says, I wish everybody could become famous to understand, and just have so much money to understand that that's not what it is. That's not what is important. We speak about connection to this divine orchestration of us being here. We are playing a huge role by being here, by listening to these talks, by listening to each other, by almost envisioning as if we are sitting in circle. And we allow these conversations to shift us, to move us into a deeper connection, to a deeper state of being, to our highest state of being, our highest vibration, our most authentic, our deepest, our most connected, our most loving. Not from our wounds, but from our healed selves, from our connected selves, not disconnected, not trying to escape, but present, as you allow the head to connect back into the body. I'm so grateful that this message has resonated. It has touched you on the deepest level. If you feel called to work with me and you needing assistance to guide your head back into your body, my details are in this post. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get notifications on when these sacred conversations occur, so you can be tuned in and tapped in, so that you can shift and alchemize your pain into beauty. Thank you for receiving. Thank you for insisting to understand this message. Thank you for sharing in circle. Thank you for choosing moving forward to live a life that is full of intention. Thank you that by changing the world, you change yourself. You change yourself deeply from the inside out. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for allowing yourself to transform your mind. Renew it so that you can be part of this new earth that moves inspired. So that as we move inspired, we can inspire each other a lot more. And we can remove any low vibrational energy of jealousy, of envy, of wanting what another has. Because you must understand, wanting what another has means you want to walk into their shoes of how their souls needed to particularly build that character to be there. And I promise you, you would rather be spared. I promise you that. You would rather be spared than wanting to go through what someone had to build that character of what made them inspirational and what made them make you inspire, made you feel inspired. Okay. So let's just ground and accept this moment that we're going to start using these sacred conversations to meditate deeper, to learn about ourselves more, because that's what it's all about. This is relationship. And when we have these conversations, it allows you to shift perspective. So I hope and I pray and I'm in gratitude that this has instilled and awakened within you a shift in perspective from any low vibrational energy to the highest state of your level of authenticity, so that you can remove your limiting beliefs and you can step into the abundant nature of who you were born to be. Let's take a deep breath. And deep breath out. Let's take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Thank you that you are encouraged today to step into the present moment by guiding yourself into your body, guiding your mind into your heart, and moving, finding something to connect to your body in a deep, deep level. Until next time, Ashe.